so nice to have you back on a Bear Clooney's channel. And as you can see, Bear Clooney is in a racing mood today. And not just a racing mood, but Rolex mood. You can say Bear Clooney is always in a Rolex mood, but today we have a special treat. Today we're talking about legendary Rolex Daytona, and specifically about Bear Clooney's Rolex Daytona, which is very much in demand. Rolex Daytona, ceramic bezel, stainless steel, white dial. A beautiful piece. It deserves attention. So why don't we jump into Bear Clooney's studio and take a closer look? Let's go. And here we are at Bear Clooney's watch studio, obviously still very influenced by the racing background of this watch and still very much in a racing mood. We are taking a closer look at the object of desire, the new Rolex Cosmograph Daytona, with its stainless steel case and ceramic bezel, with its iconic status. It's easy to understand why the new chronograph from the Geneva giant is such a sought-after timepiece. But I can't help and not comment on the word waiting that's often associated with Daytona. In the past and today, those who want to buy the steel version often have to add their names to the jewelers or authorized dealers waiting lists, and delivery delays can be as long as years, multiple years. Rolex deliberately produces smaller number of these steel case chronographs to encourage potential customers to buy the gold or two-tone ones, which are simply more profitable. But you know what? Let's not really talk too much about that. Let's take a look and admire this beautiful timepiece. This is Bear Clooney's choice. The new watch comes in a white dial and black dial, and you might ask the reason why Bear Clooney chose this timepiece. Predominantly because it resembles closely the original Paul Newman Daytona, which gave this watch truly an iconic status. So I say that resemblance was the main factor why Bear Clooney chose this timepiece. Mind you, I do want to comment the black dial Daytona is just as beautiful, and you won't make a mistake getting one. Now take a look at this beautiful bracelet. The highly polished center links are just adding to the luxury feel of this timepiece. The beautifully integrated bracelet to the watch, the gleam that this watch gives, and this feeling of a luxury timepiece, even though, quite honestly, we do know that it is ultimately a tool watch. It's an instrument watch, but it possesses everything that one luxury timepiece should. As you can see, the pushers for the chronograph are screwed on, and that certainly adds to the water resistance of the watch and protects watch from the dust. The engagement of the chronograph is wonderful as a result of a beautiful caliber 4130 movement, which I'll kind of touch on a little more later. And while you're looking at the demonstration of this chronograph and me exhibiting the beauty of this watch, I do want to touch on that iconic component that made me love this watch even more. First, I like the steel model because the story of Daytona began with a steel model. The iconic chronograph with a tachymeter scale along its bezel first saw the light of day in 1963. Models with screwed push pieces and black plexiglass bezel for the tachymeter scale followed in 1965 and thereafter. Automatic winding became available in 1988 when Rolex began using a modified version of Zenith's El Primero caliber. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was not in-house movement. It was El Primero movement, Zenith's movement. Some modifications were done, and ultimately the original very high speed pace of 36,000 vibrations per hour was moved to more leisurely tempo of 28,800 vibrations per hour. But in 2000, Rolex completed development of their own self-winding chronograph movement, caliber 4130. Later, I'm actually going to show you pictures of that movement. I think they're worth seeing, because even though the movement is not necessarily a highly decorated movement, it's worth seeing. I think there's a certain beauty in it. As you can see, I am admiring this clasp. I think it's beautiful. I'm loving its crispness. I love the simplicity of it. I love high quality of it. Now, when you wear this Daytona, your first impression it will be that it's surprisingly elegant. I also love how light reflects off the indexes, hands, and polished case. I do want to comment on the ceramic bezel because I think it provides several benefits. New bezel resists scratches better than those that are on the stainless steel bezel. Legibility is also improved. The scale on the polished steel bezel was often hard to read. And last but surely not least, the new bezel is more attractive in my opinion. I do want to comment that Rolex mills the tachymeter scale into the ceramic and then uses the high precision Liga technique to inlay the recesses with the platinum. And I have to say that workmanship on this watch is so precise that the connoisseur will enjoy scrutinizing bezel, case, bracelet, dial, and you can take a good look, you can scrutinize it, and you simply won't be able to find the imperfections. The movement has gone under relatively few changes. The manufacturer caliber 4130 was introduced in 2000. This actually features the blue hairspring movement, which Daytona started in 2007. It has the modern vertical coupling, which basically remains unchanged and continues to guarantee a precise, shudder-free start for the chronograph elapsed second hand. The column wheel is likewise unaltered. It helps assure that the excessive force isn't required to trigger the push pieces. Rolex also opted not to change its characteristic balance bridge, which boosts stability, and the power reserve lasts for the satisfyingly long 72 hours. I think that this Daytona basically, if Rolex was an Apple, the brand would probably have introduced this watch in the words, "The new Daytona is the best one we ever built." This claim would have been true, despite the few small changes made in the newest version, because the ceramic bezel does indeed make Daytona more resistant to the scratches and, in my humble opinion, more handsome. This is just my opinion. I think if you had a chance to take a look at this watch closely, you might understand why I feel like it. Now we're going to leave the Bear Clooney's watch studio and take a look at some Instagram photographs of Bear Clooney's Rolex Daytona, just because he admires it so much, and also take a closer look at that Daytona movement. And here we are. I think the beauty speaks for itself. Now, I've been mentioning that movement, which I find impressive. We're talking about caliber 4130, which is obviously automatic movement type. It's with 44 jewels, obviously in-house movement. It has 201 parts. Power reserve is 72 hours. It's a 28,800 vibrations per hour. Rotor direction is bidirectional. It's obviously column wheel. It has a Powerflex shock system. It has a Parachrome blue hairspring. It features hours, minutes, small seconds, central chronograph seconds, 30 minutes counter, and 12 hours counter. And This was released in 2000. It's completely designed and manufactured by the Crown themselves. It's a technological beauty in the Daytona. And previously, Daytona used chronograph movements, as I said, manufactured by Zenith. Presumably, the move toward the 4130 was due to the race to become 100% manufactured in-house, and possible issues with servicing the Zenith made 40-30 caliber, and for example, less parts for it. And as Rolex says, the model has new generation self-winding chronograph movement, caliber 4130, specially designed for the Cosmograph Daytona and entirely manufactured in-house. It's a masterpiece of engineering and micromechanics, replete with innovative and patented technical solutions. This high-performance movement has set a new standard for luxury self-winding chronographs in terms of robustness, reliability, efficiency, and precision, as well as for ease of maintenance. And I admire this movement. I think also I like the use of ceramic ball bearings, which means better rotor spin efficiency and lower maintenance issue. And I love how the movement looks. I enjoy looking at it. So now we are going to exit this and take a look at wristwatch shot of this beautiful watch. Thank you. And here is the wristwatch check of this beautiful Rolex Daytona. I think it's a perfect size. It maintains its traditional look, yet it's very modern. Thickness is also very nice. And choice of bracelet, perfection. Wristwatch check, Rolex Daytona ceramic in steel, white dial. So what do you think about this watch? I think it's beautiful. I think it has a great history, great tradition, and it could be perfect watch. Is it? I don't know. We're still searching for perfect watch, but this one certainly ticks many boxes. If you like this video, please click on like. If you did not subscribe yet, please subscribe, and let's share this adventure together. Let's search for a perfect watch. Thank you once again for Clooney, and have a wonderful day.